while later, that same day, the sun's fully up now. Just considering how much help I need. Mercy. I need mercy. I need help. I need mercy. I need grace. How blind I am to my own inconsistencies. So if anybody has grace to help in time of need, help. I need somebody's help, not just anybody's help. I need someone's help. But my own inconsistencies, I'm completely blind to, So enumerate, if you will, all of the inconsistencies I'm about to enumerate. You enumerate, I'm about to elucidate upon. How you like that? Bloviate. That's better. No, I was just thinking, that, just how inconsistent and what a need for mercy. Now, we can say inconsistency is a sin. We can make anything a sin. We can make anything into a grievous fault. But our faults are grievous enough without having to add any theological oomph to them. You know what I'm saying? You feel me, dog? So, I saw this thing. It was on my Facebook feed, and I shared it. It was Aldous. I think it was Aldous Huxley, the author. In 1984, not 1984, Brave New World. I think he wrote. But it went something like this: we're discovering so many diseases, or we're looking for. We're working on so many diseases and new diseases. Pretty soon, we won't be able to find anyone completely healthy, So, there's a component of that that's absolutely true, The more we look for what's wrong, the more we'll find it, so that nothing will be right, ever, And, I've said this before in regards to certain things. I think that sometimes cynicism is the last great bastion to be conquered in some ways for the believer, because, man, it's a trip to find out how duplicitous man is, especially yourself, how blind and utterly convinced and self-convinced of his own righteousness, that is self-righteousness. How to avoid becoming cynical or to be delivered from it is a great work indeed. Because to just see it, we just lie with such facility, deceive with such ease. It's not without consequences. So that disposition to finding something wrong, I guess I would say I don't want it. I want to see what's right, but the wrong stuff just keeps presenting itself, or so it seems. And so often that it seems to need address, Now, surely I have undertaken to do that in my own presumption. Or surely my own presumption has often led me to undertake that, I see something wrong, I've got to address it. It's like that old meme. Honey, when are you coming to bed? I can't come to bed. Something is wrong on the internet, And so you're constantly in that mode of finding fault. And it's not to say that there are not errors and faults, because that far be that from the truth. But the disposition to want to find things that are wrong has got to be dealt with. And so Jesus asks us, why do you behold the mote that's in your brother's eye and do not see the log or the beam that is in your own? This disposition to find even the slightest fault in another, not knowing the beam that is in our own eye, keeps us from seeing clearly. And perhaps there's not even a speck in our brother's eye. That may just be the beam in our own eye causing us to see that. God knows. Or perceive that we see that. Believe we see that. So as I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking about, the ophthalmologist who comes in with a dog to do surgery, and the guy says, well, why do you have that dog with you? And the ophthalmologist says, well, that's my seeing eye dog. Yeah, no, wait, you're about to do surgery on me and you got a seeing eye dog? I don't think so. But that's been me, very much. Can't deny it. That would be a lie. Admitting to it costs me nothing. So, better to admit to it. But anyway, that disposition, because we don't want to, the new nature is all about seeing the Lord Jesus Christ. Yet, in that seeking to find, seeking to know, seeking to see clearly, other things present themselves. And I've often wondered, if my religiously opposing religion is just that, more religion. But that even that I might see is perhaps the most religiously inclined person who's always decrying religion, that God is having his way in that. That we begin to see in us and ourselves, which is where things, when they are seen, are most clearly seen, because we're close to them. The nature to want to control, born of that fear, that religious nature that is from Sinai, so to speak. If you do this, if you do that, then, you'll have some control. Rather than being renewed in mind and wholly delivered over to the truth that Jesus Christ's will toward us, for us, about us, is all good, and to just want to see that and be less concerned about whether we're right or wrong, and to be wholly consumed with being concerned with his goodness and his being wholly right, wholly good, wholly caring, wholly gracious, wholly merciful toward us. And that's a good thing, isn't it? But there are things that get in the way. I think we have to admit. And I could be wrong. See, I could be inconsistent. Because on the one hand, I'm saying, it's all good, it's already made perfect, yet imperfections keep popping into view. Now, I can try to ascribe them to being out there, but I think I'm getting convinced it's because they're in here. And it's more convenient to see the issue out there than it is in some ways to address or deal with the issue internally. And so, just rejoicing in the Lord that his way is perfect, because his plan and his will for his people is the fullest measure of salvation in every sense of that word, from all that was old, all that is passing away, all that was corrupt, all that was corruptible, even, that could be corrupted, because now we are born of incorruptible seed. It's not even like the seed of Adam that could still fall, and did. The seed of Adam had the capability to fall. Even in Adam became a living being. The Lord Jesus Christ, the second man, the last man, the man from heaven, is a life-giving spirit. wholly different in nature than Adam, even pre-fall. Not, and yet a man. Yet man. And perhaps even considering that when we hear the words, and God said, let us make man in our image, Jesus is the man. Adam was the start. Adam was the lump of clay on the potter's wheel. But Jesus, the finished product, is as different from that, so to speak. Gee, I hate to speak of Jesus as a product. God, help me. So if you're enumerating my inconsistencies, enumerating my false errors and fallacious reasonings, feel free to drop a comment. Feel free to reach out and help this ministry in every way you can by rebuke, rebuff, and correction. Thank you and bless you, and may the Lord continue to fill you with his joy.